My name is Brandy Parham. I am blessed to be an educator and an advocate for teacher and student success. This is a video commentary in reflection of my professional growth and completion of the graduate program for curriculum and instruction at Georgia College and State University. The Masters of Education Curriculum and Instruction program has required me to examine my beliefs and practices in the classroom and in my relationships with students, parents, and coworkers. The following will demonstrate areas of competence and growth through classroom practices and program assignments. This presentation will highlight my expertise, knowledge, skills, and dispositions. My path to readiness as a curriculum specialist has been non-traditional. As a little girl, school was a safe place that encouraged me in ways that I was not encouraged at home. I always looked up to my teachers for showing me how to become a productive member of society. I took a long road to become an educator, and I have learned that the field of education is ever-changing. Not only do I find the best ways to serve my students, as many teachers did for me, but I also want to build bridges and give inspiration to parents and stakeholders. Being data-driven and hungry for high-impact instructional practices, along with my ability to seek and build relationships, led me to feel that a position as an instructional coach is suiting for me. Learning opportunities are not just for students, but for teachers alike. As a curriculum specialist, I will ensure that teachers are receiving exposure to innovative ideas that will enhance teaching and learning. I realize that this is an opportunity to enrich and serve my community. At the age of 27, I decided it was not too late to pursue my dream of being an educator. I wanted to teach high school math or English, so I completed an associate's degree in secondary education. While completing my bachelor's degree at Georgia College and State University, I passed both GACE English exams. I was offered a position in a primary school, and I knew that this was a way to get my foot in the door. I took the position and enrolled in the TAP program. I am now Georgia certified in English 6 through 12, early childhood education, and special education. I have served as the school's president for the PTO. I've served on the SGA for 5 years, and I've been a grade level team leader. I proved I have the practical, personal, and leadership skills needed, as well as the current knowledge of research and methods regarding reading development to earn endorsement as a reading specialist through the rigorous Oconee-RESA program. Finally, I've worked very hard to complete the Masters of Education Curriculum and Instruction program at Georgia College and State University. I have been engulfed with course studies that further my interests in the field of education. During my first summer of courses, I was forced to reflect on my own classroom practices and question my purpose. From analyzing research to conducting my own, GCSU guided me to look deeper at the impact curriculum has on student success. John Dewey, Edward Thorndike, Frederick Taylor, and many other key contributors began my study as I was introduced to founding individuals of curriculum. I was also intrigued by questions of the purpose of curriculum within schools. I was able to further develop and reflect on which theories I support and which theories I needed more practice of within my own classroom. One of the most impactful courses I have ever experienced made me look at culture through a different lens. I have always considered myself a culturally aware and sensitive individual, but the GCSU Curriculum and Instruction Program course, The Learning Theories and Role of Culture, showed me new ways to perceive individuality instead of melting it together with others. There is a fine line between defining someone as their culture and seeing them with reference to their culture. It is always the role of a teacher to bring the best in her students, and I am grateful for the reflections I have had to help me support student growth. Ending the coursework for the program were two very enlightening courses that helped me recognize curriculum that truly promotes student growth and learning. Student-centered pedagogy allowed me to weigh out the differences in student-centered learning versus teacher-directed learning. This course also offered a new perspective on differentiated instruction that is truly individualized. Using your imagination and creativity is not just for children. Sufficient pedagogical content knowledge paired with an educator's ability to imagine the greatest benefits for each student give curriculum specialists an ability to plan and implement rigorous and effective lessons. Curriculum and imagination took the seeds that were planted in student-centered pedagogy and gave them nourishment. This course dug deep into the necessities of curriculum design to look to best serve student growth through their own imaginations. Both courses brought me to reflect on how my own knowledge of content should be used to facilitate student growth. School reform and student-focused learning are essential to creating experiences that will enhance student lives. Learning how to implement a learning continuum that fosters many theories is a balance in self-evaluation as an educator. Every student, every day, with practice and patience. The curriculum and instruction program at GCSU has heavily affected my practices and dispositions as an educator. Through the direction of the individual growth plan, I have had to be aware of the Georgia PSC standards for curriculum and instruction. In my growth of knowledge of curriculum, I studied the works of John Goodlad in education. John Goodlad's view of student functionality over student achievement impacted my own understanding of instruction. As an educator, I have always found importance in student needs. However, previously, I was more focused on monitoring progress and centering on standards assessments. Goodlad developed a theoretical framework that included moral concern, economic efficiency, psychological reasons, and pedagogical and experiential grounds as factors which supported non-grading. The study of Goodlad led me to realign my own instruction to focus equally on character development. As a curriculum specialist, I will be able to use my role to emphasize the importance of supporting student growth in more areas than just academics. This program required practicum hours to demonstrate and facilitate learning of curriculum and instruction within the field. During my practicum, I worked with the support of my academic coach. She allowed me the opportunity to present strategies for unit planning and to share feedback on classroom practices to help my team members. I was encouraged to help build more engaging lessons, not only in my own classroom, but with other teachers as well. I was able to present to other teachers during professional learning in our building. I shared strategies on how to use Writer's Workshop in a kindergarten classroom, as well as how to use author study during our language planning. As an educator, I have always found extreme importance in my role as an advocate for all students. The knowledge and understanding that I have developed as a teacher has provoked my desire to take on more responsibilities in developing as a leader for all teachers. This leadership is evident in assessment of my own advanced program dispositions. Experienced teachers cannot depend on years of service to reflect their ability and intentions to best serve students. Transformation from classroom teacher to curriculum specialist should exhibit ability, knowledge, and demonstration of Georgia Professional Standards Committee curriculum and instruction standards. As an educator who is looking to positively impact learning for every student and to advocate for and contribute to the field of education, these standards have given me a deeper and broader knowledge of curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment. In addition to these standards, the Interstate Teacher Assessment and Support Consortium has helped me to focus on the principles and foundations of teaching practices. My focus reflects demonstration of appropriate learning progressions across the domains: the learner, content knowledge, instructional practice, and professional responsibility. Progression through these domains ensures teachers are maximizing educational experiences for all learners. The following sections of my portfolio display evidence of meeting program standards through these domains. Building relationships and incorporating students' cultures are key to showing knowledge of learners as well as what they must learn. It is my responsibility to understand how each of my students learn, grow, and develop. I find it very important to connect with and learn about every student, not only inside of school, but especially outside of school. This builds community for the students' families because it is essential for positive growth to be expected that trust and dependability is established. I have always felt strongly about setting a standard for communication and reliability as the teacher of a classroom. But through my GCSU program studies, I developed a new standard for meeting the diverse needs of students. I strive to provide experiences for students that encourage their growth and development. Learning. Teachers must be experts in the content they are teaching. It is our content knowledge that leads the way for the development of students' ability to critically think, problem solve, use creativity, and successfully communicate as members of society. Teachers must give significance to the content knowledge through structured lessons that engage learners in independent and collaborative-focused real-world problems or issues and communicating their ideas. Facilitating learning experiences requires stepping back and allowing students to collaborate. One instructional strategy I use allows students to show what they are learning in their own way. After reading stories, students have the opportunity to show critical thinking of their own perspectives of the elements of the story. Students draw pictures and share what they found relevant in the stories. I'm excited to use research knowledge that I've gained through the GCSU Curriculum and Instruction Program to improve my instructional strategies and to assist my school in promotion of student learning. Choosing to take a role of advocacy for all students requires effective instructional practices. Teachers understand how to design, implement, and interpret results from a range of formative and summative assessments. Assessment should represent student knowledge and ability. I have learned where to look and how to maximize the benefits of observation through the eyes of an educational connoisseur. It is not only important to observe the teachers, but also the students. During our watermelon investigations, my students explore a watermelon. Watching the children gasp and ooh over a watermelon is extremely insightful to what is happening within their imaginations. This activity promotes student learning, and as a connoisseur of education, I relish in this experience. As a curriculum specialist, I will review and evaluate programs and practices to modify and reinforce student learning. In the field of education, all roles have specific responsibilities. As a curriculum specialist, I will share curriculum models and suggest implementation of theory-based learning activities. I will encourage reflection on the effectiveness of the learning experiences being provided. I will demonstrate leadership and collaboration through engagement with colleagues, learners, and learners' families. As an educator, I have begun to move from using the information gathered in my classroom for my own students to using information to collaborate with, coach, and encourage others. I am eager to generate research that can influence policy and advocate through my leadership role. In the fall, my co-teacher and I planned an ABC fashion show for our hall. Our hall, called the Blue Nation, has one self-contained special education room, 3 kindergarten, 3 first grade, and 3 second grade classrooms. All of the kindergarten students picked a letter and created a vest to decorate in accordance of the letter. All of the other students and teachers sat along the walls of the hall while an MC announced each student and their letter as if they were in a fashion show. Collaboration, planning, communication, student and parent involvement are all positively inspired through this activity that I took part in. I knew I was looking for something when I began the graduate program at GCSU. Something that would make me a stronger educator. Something that would enhance my leadership abilities. Something that would advocate not only for students in my profession, but something that would advocate for education. I have grown immensely, but I know that my journey has just begun. Thank you.